You've come to the right place, traveler.
Alright lads, welcome back to the channel, and we have another Leaguestarter build guide that I want to show you here. This is gonna be Sorcerer, Reactive World, True Hybrid, Ignite FireClaw. Alright, that's a lot of words. So this is a concept that I have already tested pre-patch on a Rune Master with Frostbite with a Frostclaw, but Ignite is much stronger to do on a Sorc as well. You can basically play it on other masteries, but on a Sorc it's just gonna be a lot stronger. And I'm gonna show you the concept here. We're gonna have our FireClaw, Frostclaw converted into fire, right? And it's gonna be proccing Elemental Novas. Don't mind that you don't see a lot. This is just to show you the concept. I don't have all the levels. So during your echoes, you just throw your meteor. You will be getting this Crediborn buff right here, which is insane. Fire penetration 75% and extra cast speed as well, right? So you drop one meteor and then you cast your fire claws, and you are clearing a big area. Your teleport also will be popping 3 elemental novas, which will be igniting a lot. I have done a very similar concept in the past as a Rune Master, my FireClaw Rune Master Ignite. It was a nice build, but this one we will take to another level. Now, one of the main reasons why I actually wanted to make this build is this reactive ward. With all the health buffs that we are getting and the ward nerfs, this is going to be insane. I will show you on the planner with reactive ward. Every time you drop to 70% health, we are actually going to be getting 4000 ward. And also there is another concept here on the teleport. Out of body will also basically give you about 800 to 1000 ward every time you teleport, and you have very low cooldown on your teleport. As a Sorc, you have a lot of cooldown recovery access as well. So let's get into the planner. Before we do that though, do hit the like button if you like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content because it greatly helps me. Leave comments below. I want to hear your thoughts about something like that. I really enjoyed my time playing this on before the patch, and now I actually want to play this build. I think it's gonna be a very strong one, and it's gonna be a very fun Leaguestarter for sure. Alright lads, let's get into the planner and see what we have here for this Sorcerer Leaguestarter. Now, we're gonna start with the passives, but as you can see here, we have 4.6 thousand life on a mage, and you can hit with good rolls even close to 5000. This was never possible before. All the life buffs help us a lot. So let's get into the passive tree and see what we have here on the main tree. Reactive ward, this is what this build is all about. So 70%, whenever you're dropping 70% of your life, you gain a burst of ward. This one has 12-second cooldown, but we get it down to 6 in here, and we also increase the ward gain from the reactive ward with 4.6k life. As I see, as I have here on the planner, you get 4000 ward every 6 seconds basically, and this is almost 800 word per second, which is pretty damn insane. And we also have leads to cover our life as well. Now, other than that, Scholar for life and Arcanist for intelligence and resistances, and a little bit of cast from Mage Flurry, and also cooldown recovery rate for our teleport. Let's get to the Rune Master tree real quick. Sphere of Protection, this is life and less damage multiplier. So defensive layer, very much necessary. We're gonna be going into Transcendence for the extra flat life. This is a lot of flat life as well. And because we are using offhand catalyst, we are taking mental catalysis for the crit reduction. Now, if we have a couple more points, you can do whatever you want with them. You can go for cast speed. This is probably what I would do in this case. But on the Sorc build, of course, Arcane Momentum, this is stacks that give you extra cast speed. It's 25% extra cast speed. Then we needed to travel into Pyromancer, so I'm gaining a little bit of mana regen here because of the nerfs in the Frostclaw. We might need a little bit of extra mana regen, so I'm covering my bases here. If you don't need those, just travel with intelligence. You can go for movement speed if you want. Spell damage will not scale your build, but movement speed will make you a little bit faster. Now Pyromancer and Lavamancer, of course, for our fire penetration and leads. Inferno, more fire damage multiplier right here. And we get Chronomancy for the ignite duration, which is pretty fantastic. Cast speed from Spellslinger and cooldown recovery rate. The passive tree is very easy. Let's get into the skills real quick. FireClaw, we are going to be converting into fire, and we will be getting the mana efficiency down here as well. All of my skills right here, they have this progression, so you can see which ones you prioritize and in which order. We're going to be proccing Elemental Novas from Celestial Conflux and all the minus mana cost that we can get on FireClaw. Let's get into the Elemental Nova. Now, we have a lot of levels from Crest of Unity. Before that, you just don't take those more multipliers here because they also increase your mana cost. So this is the last thing that you will be getting into your tree. As you can see here, this progression bar is just fantastic. So we are getting the Ignite Chance from the Elemental Nova here. A little bit more AoE, all the more damage multipliers, because with Crest of Unity it's gonna become tri-elemental, so these more multipliers are free. And minus mana cost here, you might need 4 out of 4 here, so this is depending on how your mana is going. If you don't need that, you just take 1 point from Glacial Might and you put it in the fragility, so you will have 0 mana cost on your Elemental Nova instead of 3 that I have here. Teleport, very good. We're just going to proc all of the Elemental Novas on arrival, on departure, and in the halfway, so a lot more clear out of that. Cooldown recovery rate as much as possible, and then we are going out of body. As I said, every time that you will be teleporting, once you get your life going, it's gonna give you about 800 ward, even maybe close to 1000, depending on your life. And I'm also gaining a little bit of extra ward here. This is definitely not necessary, but I didn't have anything particular to get after we get a couple of extra levels from our gear. That's about it. And a little bit of extra resistances because we want them for null portent. Now, Flame War, very standard stuff. 2 charges, all the less hit damage reduction, and 250% fire damage. Now, this is very nice because we're gonna scale a decent amount of cooldown recovery rate. It's not our primary stat by any means, but you're gonna have very good uptime on your Flame War, so this is just free increased damage. Now, when it comes to Meteor, this is the most important part here. You're gaining Craterborn for 6 seconds once you cast your meteor. This one does not stack, so every 6 seconds basically you're dropping 1 meteor. Other than that, there is almost nothing that I want on meteor except Aftermath, and I honestly don't want to speak about the passive tree. Like the Sarmal here is nice, but those points over here, they're just decorative at this moment. If you don't have any mana issues at all, you can go in here and grab the extra meteors if you want to do that. It's gonna help you a lot with your clear, but I'm not sure if we can sustain the mana, because from 47 it's gonna get another 50 flat mana on top of it, so I don't wanna make these things hard for you. I'm gonna keep it simple, and you can experiment with the rest of the points as much as you want, because they're not that important for the build anyway. Let's get into the gear and see how we're doing here. Firestarter Stores and Soulfire, of course, it's an Ignite build. Those items are just amazing. On the Firestarter Stores, the tier 7 minus mana cost is the most important one. You can get away with tier 6 early on, but definitely you want tier 7 later down the line. Cast speed is very good. Ignite chance, of course, and if you have a Fire LP, Fire Starters, you add Fire Penetration down there. Now, when it comes to Soulfire, you get elemental damage over time, cast speed, and health, as I have here. Instead of cast speed, you can get mana regen if you need a little bit of mana regen as well. You can see we are sitting at 16, so not too bad at all. One little thing, just keep in mind, if you have a 4 LP Firestarter Stores, you can actually gain the blind on hit, and then you don't care about your crit, because enemies that are blinded, they cannot crit you. And we have so many hits on the build, which is not gonna be a problem. It's gonna be super consistent and very good coverage. Just mention it here so that it alleviates a little bit on your gear. Now, Null Portent, this one is dropping from Aberov, so it's gonna be a later acquisition. Up until then, you just go for increased life, chance on ignite with the Mage's body armor, and you go fire damage over time or intelligence, whatever you like. The life and the chance on ignite is the most important part on the body armor. When you get Null Portent, Guaranteed Slam, you drop in 39% tier 7 increased life, and you get insane amounts of life. You also get Leech Rate as well, which is very, very nice. And the overkill damage Leech Health, I don't know, this one had a little bit of an issue and a couple of bugs. If it's fixed, it's gonna be really good. And physical resistance, which we very much need. Now, for Null Portent, you will aim to have 115% on all of your resistances. As you see, I don't have that maximized yet, but depending on your rolls, on your gear, you will get a lot. As many of your resistances at 115% so that you can gain an extra 20% less damage taken. Speaking of less damage taken, we can get another 18% from that last line on Crest of Unity, and we already have another 8 from our passive. So you can have about 45 to 50% less damage taken on this build, with a lot of health, with leads, and with the reactive ward covering you for the big hits. That's the main secret. And you can get increased life and ignite on hit with fire skills on your Crest of Unity. 2 LPs should be very possible, but life is the most important part. Now we have a couple of very, very nice rings. Again, the Invoker's Scorching Grasp ring are gonna be very good early on. Even if you use 2 of them, it's not a bad thing. And once you shatter them for the shards from the Woven Echoes, you will be crafting something like that with a lot of life, endurance, and elemental damage over time. Plus this node here. You can havoc this if you have more life from other sources. You can havoc this to tier 7. It's gonna be really strong as well. But it is already very, very good. It's 50% ignite chance from the 2 rings and another 70% fire damage over time, right? So basically those 2 rings are kind of identical. You will need to fix the last suffix based on what kind of resistance and endurance you need in the build. You might get endurance on your Soulfire as well, so it's another option there. Eternal Gold Nets for a little bit of damage over time mitigation, but because we have leads, it's not gonna be that huge of an issue, of course. And we have a lot of cast speed here, tier 6 or tier 7 cast speed. I only have tier 6 because Eternal Golems are a little bit of tougher items to get with tier 7, and just life and damage over time. On our boots, you do want the Citadel boots, of course, for the reduced bonus taken from crit strikes. With the passive and a pair of Citadel boots, you are pretty much covered. If you get blind, you can actually skip the passive and get other things if you want more cast and more increased damage. And just prioritize movement, life, and cooldown recovery rate. Belt, very simple, elemental damage over time, mana regen, and life. Make sure that you actually seal a tier 1 cleanse on ailments on potion, because Frostclaw lost the cleanse this in 1.2. So yeah, make sure you do that. Opulent Focus, just very, very nice for the extra intelligence ward per second. We don't have a better base on our offhand catalyst. Ward retention is not really amazing for this build. We don't care because it's very temporary ward that is coming, but it's not bad either. So damage over time, cast speed, and cover your resistances. Keep in mind, you cannot roll physical resistance on offhand catalyst. That's why we have it on ring. Let's talk a little bit about the idols and the blessings before we close. Now there are some very nice ornate idols for a mage that give you ignite duration and fire damage over time. Apart from that, the enchantments are very good because you can get damage over time and endurance, and also you can get more movement speed and damage. Now I have them tier 7 here. You probably will not get tier 7, at least not at the start. Prioritize the endurance though, because that's more important. Same thing here. I have damage over time, fire damage over time, grand class idols, 3 of them. Prioritize as enchantment the endurance, and if you can get elemental damage over time, on top of them, that's fine, but the endurance is more important. It's gonna alleviate a lot of issues on your gear. I have just a Weaver Idol here with life and damage over time. Also, frailty. This is a very nice one to get with this suffix because it's free frailty. You don't need to worry about it on your gear. Otherwise, you need to seal it on your gauntlets or get it here on your Soulfire instead of health. And of course, Throne of Ambition, a little bit more armor, but most importantly, 40% more fire damage on bosses when you stack your Throne of Ambition stacks. Blessings. We are getting Ignite Suns on the Black Sun. This is the second timeline, so you can get that fairly easy on the normal side, of course. We're getting resistances to help us cover our null portent needs, and double armor here and line resistance. Early on, you might want to go into the physical resistance here or the cold resistance, most likely physical, to cover your resistances, and then you can swap into the armor. I believe we have covered everything about the builds. Let me know what do you think about this one. It's a very, very nice concept, and it's a concept that I've been playing in preparation for 1.2 with the life buffs, because Reactive armor is a very strong one already, and now we can actually elevate it to another level and make it a very strong defensive mechanic. Because of all the setup, we're gonna have already very good less damage taken multipliers for our defense, and that's a lot of life to see on a mage, and I'm really happy that we can do that. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.